Real financial education isn't just about managing money. It's about rewiring the way you think about problems, opportunities, and decisions. The wealthiest people don't simply earn more or invest smarter. They see the world through an entirely different mental lens. That's what separates those who stay stuck from those who build lasting wealth and opportunity. In this video, we'll break down the mindset shifts that can change the way you see money, success, and even yourself, and how adopting them can move you off the treadmill of just getting by and onto the path of building real financial freedom. Stay with us to discover what's the right mindset that you should get to stop being broke, and finally follow a path that will change your life to become the person you always wanted to be. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and send us your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. 1. From headaches to opportunities. One of the most powerful habits successful people develop is what researchers call opportunity recognition. Basically, the ability to see potential where most people only see problems or inconveniences. It's not magic and it's not genetic. It's a way of thinking that anyone can learn with practice and awareness. Take commuting, for example. For most people, it's just a daily headache. Sitting in traffic, spending money on gas, paying too much for taxis, or dealing with unreliable public transportation. Most people stop there. They accept the problem and complain about it. But a few people looked at the exact same situation and asked, what's a better way? That's how ride-sharing apps were born. What started as a solution to commuting became a multi-billion-dollar industry that not only solved a pain point, but also opened up whole new income streams. From renting cars to drivers, to offering specialized cleaning services, to managing logistics for rideshare platforms. The difference wasn't luck or insider information. It was a mental habit, asking what else could this enable, instead of only, how do I get through this right now? And this approach doesn't just apply to launching businesses. It shapes how people manage money, make career moves, and build new skills. So, opportunity spotting is less about luck and more about the questions you train yourself to ask. Number 2, think in systems, not just event. Most people go through life focusing on events, what psychologists call event thinking. They celebrate a raise like it's a financial miracle, panic when the stock market dips, or stress over an unexpected bill, as if it defines their entire financial future. Each moment feels isolated, like a win or loss on its own scoreboard. The problem is that this short-term focus keeps people trapped in reaction mode. Financially successful people, by contrast, think in systems. They understand that single events are just snapshots in a much bigger picture. A raise doesn't matter nearly as much as whether income is consistently being saved and invested. A market downturn isn't a disaster. It's part of a cycle that can actually work in their favor if they're investing regularly. Instead of trying to budget from scratch every month, systems thinkers set up automation so good decisions happen without constant willpower. Instead of gambling on market timing, they rely on systematic strategies that work through ups and downs. This approach doesn't stop at money. Systems thinkers apply the same logic to health, learning, and relationships. They know consistent routines beat occasional heroics every time. In the long run, systems thinking creates stability, while event thinking creates stress. And that shift in perspective is what frees people to build lasting wealth. Number 3, the long-term thinking advantage. One of the biggest mindset shifts is learning to stretch the time horizon. Most money talk revolves around quick tips: which stock to buy right now, how much to save this month, or what expenses to cut today. But wealthy people tend to zoom out. They think in decades, while many others think in terms of a few years, months, or even just days. This shift changes everything. Short-term thinkers often avoid the stock market because it feels too risky. What they don't realize is that avoiding investing for 30 years is actually far riskier. Inflation eats away at savings, and they miss out on the growth that comes from compounding. The same logic applies to career choices. Short-term thinkers chase the highest starting salary, while long-term thinkers look at learning potential, connections, and opportunities that may pay off bigger down the road. Those with a long-term mindset also understand that long-term thinking goes beyond money. They also put effort into building relationships and reputation. even when there's no immediate reward, because they understand that trust and networks compound just like money does. The same way small deposits grow into large balances, small acts of learning, networking, and consistency grow into expertise, influence, and opportunity. In other words, long-term thinkers don't just invest in what they have, they invest in who they're becoming. And that shift in focus is what sets the stage for wealth to follow naturally. Number 4. The hidden value of solving problems. Wealthy people have a different relationship with problems. They don't run from them, they lean in. To them, problems aren't just obstacles, they're raw material for creating value. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is fine. It simply means recognizing that most wealth is built by solving problems that matter to other people. Every successful company began with someone asking, "What's frustrating people, and how can I fix it?" But this mindset goes far beyond starting businesses. Employees who consistently find solutions become the people companies can't afford to lose, and they often get rewarded for it. Investors who pay attention to the problems in their communities are the ones who notice opportunities before the crowd does. This way of thinking also reshapes how people deal with their own financial challenges. Debt stops being a mountain of shame and turns into a problem that can be broken down and tackled step by step. A low paycheck becomes less of a dead end and more of a skills gap waiting to be filled. The catch? Real problem solving requires being comfortable with uncertainty. Most people crave simple, guaranteed fixes, the financial version of a magic pill. That's why get-rich-quick schemes and too-safe strategies are so tempting. They promise certainty, but usually deliver disappointment. Successful people, on the other hand, understand that complexity and ambiguity are often signs of opportunity. Instead of avoiding uncertainty, they learn to manage it, and that comfort allows them to pursue strategies with much higher upside. In the end, problem solvers don't just overcome challenges, they turn them into stepping stones toward wealth. Number 5. Connections create opportunity. Most financial advice focuses on personal choices. Save more, spend less, invest wisely. Those things matter, but here's the overlooked truth. Wealth is rarely built alone. It's social. The biggest opportunities usually come through relationships, partnerships, and networks, rather than from isolated individual effort. Successful people treat relationships as assets that can grow in value over time, just like financial investments. They spend energy building genuine connections with different kinds of people, not because they expect something immediately, but because they know opportunities often appear from directions no one could predict. This doesn't mean networking in the shallow, transactional sense. Real relationship building is about giving before asking. It's offering help, sharing knowledge, or celebrating someone else's win without expecting a payout in return. It's staying in touch when there's no obvious benefit, simply because the connection itself is valuable. Over the years, these relationships compound. A former coworker turns into a business partner. A casual acquaintance ends up referring a high-paying client. A diverse network creates options and access that never appear to people who try to go it alone. In many ways, relationships are the highest return investment, because the right connection at the right time can change everything. So here's the takeaway. Wealth doesn't come just from knowing the technical side of money, the spreadsheets, the account types, or the budgeting apps. Those are tools, but tools alone don't build anything. What actually builds wealth is the mindset driving those tools, shifting from short-term thinking to long-term vision, from avoiding problems to solving them, from seeing limitations to spotting opportunities. That's the real difference between staying stuck and moving forward. The wealthiest people didn't just learn to make money. They learned to think differently about money, time, and choices. And that shift is what changes everything. If this breakdown opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button so more people can discover it. Subscribe to our channel for more insights that go beyond the basics. Comment below. Which mindset shift do you find the most difficult to apply in your life? And before you go, click on the next video right here where we dive deeper into more mindset shifts, specific ways wealthy thinking completely differs from broke thinking. Until next time, keep building the mindset that builds your wealth.